Have you ever been in a moment where time seems to pause? Where the world around you continues to move, but your heart is captured by something fragile, something struggling to hold on to life? This is a story of one such moment, an encounter that changed everything for a small, helpless bird and for Joshua. It was a typical sun-drenched day in Brazil, the kind where the roads shimmer under the relentless heat, and every living thing searches for a sliver of shade. Joshua was simply walking down the road, lost in thought, when his eyes caught something small and trembling on the pavement's edge. A bird, fragile and weak, its tiny body barely moving. At that moment, Joshua had a choice. He could keep walking, tell himself it was just nature taking its course, or he could stop. He chose to stop. At first, he feared the worst. Maybe it had been hit by a passing vehicle, but as he knelt beside it, he saw otherwise. The little creature was still alive, but something was very wrong. It was an Anu-Petro, a native bird of Brazil, and it was suffering. Its wings twitched, its breathing was shallow, and its eyes, once filled with the spark of life, were dim and unfocused. A rush of emotion flooded Joshua's heart. He couldn't let it die here, alone on the roadside. Carefully, ever so gently, he scooped up the delicate creature. Its tiny body was warm, too warm. That's when he realized what might have happened. It could be heat stroke. The relentless sun must have drained it of all strength, leaving it unable to fly, unable to fend for itself. Joshua knew he had to act fast. Finding a wooden board nearby, he created a safe space for the bird, somewhere away from the unforgiving asphalt and the dangers of passing cars. He watched as it lay there, exhausted but safe. But safety alone wouldn't be enough. It needed help. And so he did the only thing he could think of. He reached into his backpack, found a bottle of water, and carefully poured a tiny amount into a bottle cap. It wasn't much, but to this little bird, it could mean everything. Slowly, drop by drop, he let the water trickle into its beak. He was patient, gentle, knowing that too much at once could overwhelm the tiny creature. And then, just the faintest sign of hope. A tiny swallow, a small movement, a sign that life still lingered. And in that moment, something profound happened. Joshua wasn't just helping a bird. He was witnessing resilience, the incredible will to live that exists in even the smallest of creatures. Minute by minute, Joshua watched as the little bird's breathing steadied. Its eyes, once unfocused, began to regain their sharpness. And then something even more remarkable, its feathers, which had seemed dull and lifeless, started to shine once more under the golden sun. It was recovering. Slowly, but surely, it was coming back to life. Then came the moment Joshua had been waiting for. The bird, weak but determined, pushed itself up onto its tiny feet. It wobbled at first, unsure of itself, but then it stood. It took a moment to gather its strength, as if understanding that this was its chance. And then, as if whispering a silent thank you, it spread its wings. Joshua barely had time to react before the little bird took off. It rose into the sky, flapping higher and higher, until it was just a speck against the endless blue. Joshua felt a wave of relief and joy wash over him. He had saved a life. Not with grand gestures, not with money or resources, but with kindness, with compassion, with a simple act that took only moments, but meant the world to that one little bird. And maybe, just maybe, that was enough. This story isn't just about Joshua. It's about all of us. It's a reminder that kindness isn't about size or scale. Sometimes it's about stopping when no one else does. It's about recognizing that every life, no matter how small, is worth saving. Imagine if we all carried that mindset. Imagine if every person took a moment out of their day to help a creature in need. The world wouldn't just be different, it would be better. And that's why we're sharing this story with you today. If this touched your heart, if it made you think even for a moment about the power of kindness, we asked just one thing. Let's spread kindness. Let's be the change, not just for people, but for all living beings. And if you believe in this message, if you want to hear more stories that inspire, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Every action you take helps us bring more stories of kindness and compassion to the world. Because in the end, the world has a way of thanking those who treat it with love and respect. Until next time, keep spreading kindness.